Welcome everyone to the eighth episode of the Boss Key Podcast. I am your co-host McQuack306, also known as Josh, I guess, in the real world. I'm joined as always with Jesse. Hello, Jesse.
Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you listen to the podcast. Welcome to episode 8. I am the other co-host, Jesse Fergoso, Jesse_Fergoso on Twitter, also Jebby G on most gaming platforms. How you doing this morning, Josh?
I'm good. I'm good. And just like how you mentioned, whenever you're hearing this, also like to remind everyone that we're now on Spotify, including
Yes.
YouTube as always. But we're now on Spotify, and we are working on seeing other platforms. But we heard your guys' call. We heard you guys requesting Spotify. So
We have
we're
met
now in.
demands.
Yes. So that's one checkbox taken care of, I hope.
Yes. Multiple. If you guys think of any other ones that maybe it could be on, the only other one I can think of right now is Apple. Besides that, but Spotify's usually been the top trending choice for people, and I think it's great to not only have YouTube but to also have Spotify. Which what I do all the time is download podcast off of Spotify.
Yeah. So we're on there now. Happy to be on there and hope to see more episodes there. And then, like we said, we're gonna check out other avenues on platforms and see where we go from there. But we have a lot to talk about. The main draw is Nintendo again this week from their specific Nintendo Direct that recently happened,
Yep,
along
yep.
with a movie from a very specific famous franchise, Plumber. And
Oh, plumber. There you go. That narrows it down real quick.
but as always,
Famous, Amos.
let's start off with what we're playing. So what are we playing, Jesse?
So right now I've been in like a whirlwind of gaming so far. I've had a lot of classes during the week, so I've been squeezing in gaming as best as I can. Usually work, some classes afterwards, and then I always squeeze in some time for gaming. But last Monday I officially got my Xbox Series X. It is now sitting next to me, very beautifully standing right there.
Congratulations on that. What was the first game you downloaded or played that you just wanted to see that raw power of the Series X?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I did not get anything that showed a huge raw power of it just yet. I went more retro again because there's a lot of 360 games I liked from back then. The first thing I actually downloaded was the Rare Replay. Um, Rare Replay was the one I downloaded, and of course, because I talked last week about a bunch of Banjo Kazooie, of course I wanted to give it a test go. I wanted to see how it goes. So yes, I downloaded it again, and it just felt so good to go back into that world. But I will tell you one thing I love about my Xbox right now: the loading times and everything is at warp speed, solid state drive for the win.
It's a lot faster, yeah, on everything. Just
I'm
loading
gonna
everything on there.
Yes, so much. I'm gonna use it later today for like Netflix and Hulu and all the sites that I usually go on, and it's gonna be so much better than my PS4. Sorry, PS4, you've been dethroned as the player right now. You've been dethroned as my player right now because Solid State Drive wins. But the other game that I actually played was Perfect Dark from my Rare Replay. I I can't explain it. I jumped into Perfect Dark. Have you ever had any of those games where it doesn't matter how many years you've played it last, but you just go in and you just know everything about the game already. For whatever reason, you just know what to do right away. I already beat the first mission on Perfect Agent immediately and just went from there. I was like, wow, like I
Resident
still
Evil
remember
4 is
everything.
that game for me.
There you go. Like you just jump in. You're already ready to go. I already beat the level like in a few minutes, and just playing that game. That's the difference between a good game and a great game. Like the ones that you can play in your sleep are like the ones that you had a great inspiration from it when you were younger. So I jumped into Perfect Dark again, and I cannot wait to play some more games on my Series X. But I've also been dabbling a little bit on the PC with more announcements about the games that came out recently, such as buying Diablo 2 again, the newest one that just came out, and I actually also threw in some Quake in there. So that's what I played throughout the week. Big Josh, what are you playing?
I'm always dabbling in everything. I dabbled a little bit into Deathloop. Um, Final assessment is that I'm not really into it anymore or at all.
Oh, you
Uh,
got over it already?
yeah, it was a quick, I guess, love, for a lack of a better term. It just didn't vibe with me. I just felt so many issues with the game that
Mm,
it's just not jiving with me at this moment. There's too many other games that are, calling my attention that I'd rather put more time into it. And Deathloop, maybe in the future, maybe when there's a gaming slump where there's hardly any releases, that I'll be like, you know what, I'll go back to that one
right,
game.
right.
But yeah, Deathloop isn't I'm not feeling it right now. But what I am feeling right now, besides Destiny 2, because I'm always playing Destiny 2, is Kenya Bridge of Spirits. I
Nice.
didn't really have this game in my eyesight, like, for game of the year or any talk of great games that came out in 2021. But I played the first hour I played, and it just immediately, like, grabbed me. It has so much feel to The Legend of Zelda, which we both have a love for Zelda in this podcast. But a lot of callback to Majora's Mask. Um,
My
you
favorite
know,
one.
without giving so much away from it, it just has that aura of Majora's Mask that I think if you were to have seen the first hour, you would have felt it too. But
Nice.
it's like, I guess, a 3D action game, but it also has like puzzle elements. So it's really good. It looks like a Pixar film. It looks like one of those animated films, but in motion. And
Oh,
you play this girl, who's, I guess, trying to rid the land, the forest, of this bad spirit, these bad omens, and you're trying to cleanse it to for the good spirits. And that's basically how it goes. It has a good collectible mechanic, I guess, gameplay, where you're trying to find these little creatures called rot, and those creatures help you out. So it's kind of like a mixture of Majora's Mask and Pikmin, in a way. But
ooh, okay.
really digging the combat, love the art style, love the direction that it's going with, and it has the most amazing cutscenes, that I've seen all year round. So that one is catching my eye. I
Nice.
also got into the Halo Infinite playtest. I
Oh,
put in
please tell
about
me it was amazing.
I put in about 3 hours, and I actually was worried about Halo since we saw it last year. But the
Mm,
devs have done an amazing job in
yes.
working on it. Like, it's one of those, like, what a year does to development time. It's not like it was planned for last year holiday. It was
Right.
nowhere near ready for that, and
Wow.
they went silent. They showed a couple screenshots here and there throughout the year, but this playtest really put my confidence back into the franchise. It's really good. It's that good. I don't think it's a huge, I guess, graphical powerhouse. It's not. But I don't think Halo has been, at least for a while. Um,
Right.
but in terms of just gameplay, gunplay, and customization, and the map design, it's so good, man. It's Halo back to form. It's Halo back to the 360
Oh,
days.
I
And
love hearing that. That sounds so good.
I feel like Halo was missing throughout the Xbox One generation. It wasn't that powerhouse that it was once before in the name. Halo 5
Mm,
came and went, and the multiplayer was good. But
yeah.
that's where it was. It was good. It wasn't
Mhm.
like, I don't know, it wasn't revolutionary. It wasn't like, "Oh my god, this is awesome. This is what I can keep playing." No, it wasn't like that. At least for me. The last game that was like
Yeah.
that for me was Reach. Um,
Yeah. I agree because I think at that time when Halo 5 was released, I believe they were trying to capitalize off of all the other shooters were doing at the same time.
yeah.
Like they were trying to add some of those mechanics, like the sprinting and the abilities and loadouts, and they're trying to make it more. They're trying to make it more like relatable to the other shooters because I think at that time so many other shooters were coming out. Modern Warfare was like the hot ticket at that time.
Yeah, I mean because Halo 3 when it came out, what was that, 2007? And Call of Duty still wasn't that big monster that it is today. You know,
No, not at all.
Halo was king in the
2000,
first
yeah,
person.
it came out in 2007. Did you say 2007?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
2007.
2007. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
and Halo was the king of first person shooters for the longest time. Like that's what they had, and it wasn't until Call of Duty came and the spaces between each entry
Yeah.
of Halo came out longer and longer that it just
Hmm.
people started losing, attention, I
Hmm.
guess, for it. Not that Halo lost its luster, but it hasn't regained that spot again. And
Yeah.
there's so
Modern
many.
when Call of Duty 4 came out, the first Modern Warfare, that's when Call of Duty started taking over a little bit.
Yeah,
That
but
was the first one. That one came out the same year, just a couple months later, November 5th. The Halo came out in September.
yeah, and
So,
today, there's like how many shooters that you can think of that are either free to play or you
dude,
buy in, but they take
can't
up
even
the
count them
time.
on one hand right now. There's so many.
I mean,
Can't even count them.
the
Like,
one that I always mention each week is Destiny, and that's a shooter, and that's
mhm,
original Bungie. That's Bungie who created Halo 3.
yep.
Um,
There's
so
for free now. Apex Legends is free.
Apex Legends,
Counter Strike is CS:GO is free. Um, there's this
Warzone.
other game, Warzone. Warzone, the top one, Fortnite, that third person shooter, but still a shooter.
Hmm.
Quake Champions, which is id Software's version of it. So, um, free multiplayer shooters are in the rage right now.
But not to mention, also single player shooters that do it, just as well. Like Halo 5 campaign was pretty, lackluster, but you
Mm.
see people making like Titanfall 2 with a solid first, solid single player and multiplayer.
I feel like Titanfall actually was a game that got better with age.
Yes.
I think it wasn't initially the top game at the time, but with age and after like some sales that I've seen on Steam, I've seen a lot of people gravitate to it. And I loved Titanfall 1 on my 360. That was a great no, excuse me, on my Xbox Series my Xbox One. I
Hmm.
loved that game.
Yeah.
The Titanfall 1 was amazing. I love the Titans on that one.
Just calling it
That
a
was
Titan was so like exhilarating.
right, like you
Prepare for
it's coming
Titanfall.
it's coming in from space, and you can even do you're even running up against walls, you're repelling, and then when you're in your Titan, dude, the small characters are just done. It felt so good picking off the small fry with your Titan when you're just on it.
It just
You
had
have
an
the big
epic moment. It had an
you have
epic moment of your Titan
yeah,
falling.
yep. And then you have the big machine gun on you this time. So now you're not using your rifle anymore. You're using your your Titan's rifle, which is basically like big old slabos of ammo going at them. Dude, man, you reminded me. Is Titanfall on Xbox Series X?
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
I'm gonna.
yeah. If you have the Xbox One version, yeah. There's no like native Series X version,
Oh,
but it
okay.
runs very well on the Series X.
Sweet. Good to know. Good to know. And I did see that library for Game Pass. I got 2 years of Game Pass, by the way.
It
Huge.
should be
That's a
on there.
lot.
It should be on
That's a
there.
lot. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games.
But yeah, Halo, I feel is back. I feel
Hmm.
Halo is back to form. There was
Hmm.
a little, I guess, clunkiness for me in terms of the controls, because
Hmm.
it's just a new, crouch is no longer the crouch button. That's the melee weapon.
Really?
That's the melee attack, and you know, to use the left trigger to zoom to like aim down the sights. That's new for me. I'm so used to
Hmm.
using the right button stick to zoom, or I think it was the left. But
Okay.
yeah, it was just getting used to it. But
Mhm.
I love the game. I'm loving where it's going. I just need a solid single player now, and
Sweet.
it will be up there with. I mean, the last Halo game I really enjoyed was Halo 4. But
Nice.
yeah, it's up there with me. And then the next game that I am playing that I recently purchased last week was Diablo 2 on the Switch.
Yes, the resurrected.
Now I know you're a huge Diablo, fan, so I like
Yes,
to
I'm
get
a
our.
Diablo. Call me a fanboy, whatever you want. I love the series. It's my favorite of it's my favorite Blizzard series of all time. It's so the lore, the story, the gameplay. It's how everyone loved World of Warcraft or StarCraft. I was a Diablo man.
So you played. So this is where we're coming at different perspectives. I came from Diablo 3. I've only played Diablo 3, and I'm now going into Diablo 2. But you've played Diablo 2 20 plus years ago when it first
Oh,
released. So what's your
yes.
impression? You've been playing it. What's your impression on it?
I will tell you. So, like how you said, I've been playing Diablo since the beginning. So, the first ever Diablo that I ever got was the Diablo Battle Chest, which it was when the PC games used to come in their box. It came with Diablo 2, the expansion. It also came with Diablo 1, and it also came with the strategy guide. It came with everything in a box, and the box was so cool. But Diablo 2 was the headline game in there. I played a little bit yesterday. I bought it myself as well.
On the PC or
On the
where?
I got it on the PC for now
Okay.
because I've always loved Diablo on the PC itself. That's how I played it before. I did love the console Diablo series too. So whatever I say about the PC version and everything, that's more of like a personal preference. But they've actually made Diablo very amazing on the controllers. So either way that you want to pick it up is amazing. So if you're gonna pick it up, for me as like I preferred it on the PC because that's how I played it. Playing Diablo 2 again was a trip back through time, and there's just something about Diablo 2 that I do not get from Diablo 3. Just from the craft and everything that they've done with it. So far all the quality of life improvements are amazing in Diablo 2. So first off, no more having an extra character just to dump off items to. You actually have a shared chest that everyone could use. So now you don't have to do all these like different things just to switch over your items to other characters if needed. Um, the thing I really loved too was legacy mode, where you can actually switch between the old school way and the new school way. You can play it both ways in the tap of a button. You press G and you get the legacy way of how they played it. Like if you really want to go, they even did legacy cutscenes too. So they remastered the cutscenes and you could watch them how they were originally. And as I was playing, Josh, I swear, the hours were already starting to be absorbed again because in the 2000s, I was on my computer so much on this game. Like I was this game will suck your time. It's that good. And it has all the classic basically almost everything is completely untouched from Diablo 2. So it is the full Diablo 2 experience, but I feel like the Diablo 2 experience is a lot more satisfying. Um, to make sense of that, like I guess the progression and the leveling and everything you get from Diablo 2 feels more earned. Whereas when I was playing Diablo 3, you still earn experience, you still level up your character, you're still building your character the way you want to. But later on in Diablo 3, they're both they're both grind fests, like Destiny, where you get gear and loot, just in a different way. But in Diablo 3, it kind of became more repetitive, if that kind of makes sense. Versus it didn't feel as repetitive to me on Diablo 2. And just something about the way the game plays on just the actions and everything that happens in Diablo 2 just feels better to me. Um but as far as how everything goes with Diablo 2, it is a fully reimagined excuse me, not reimagined, excuse me, it's a fully remastered of a game that's 21 years old that I'm so glad to sink many hours into again. Again. It already took my life before, so it's going to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, for me, uh, coming from Diablo 3, going to Diablo 2, I don't have the same, I guess, affinity for the game as you do. Um, for me, Diablo 3 was very streamlined, very
Mhm.
casual friendly, which in terms of that specific type of game, that genre, it's more welcoming for me. I don't have a lot of experience with games like Diablo or Pillars of Eternity, Baldur's Gate, games that were isometric
Mhm.
RPGs. So when I first played Diablo 3, I played it on PC, and point and click for movement, that was weird for me. Pressing the keys for specific abilities, that was also weird for me. But what wasn't weird for me was the concept of grinding.
Right.
Games that I've played that have heavy grind, Pokemon, Final
Mhm.
Fantasy, Dragon Quest, which is just grinding.
Mhm.
That to me is I guess a comfort food for gaming.
Mhm.
I don't mind the grind. I don't mind
Mhm.
continuously playing and having a goal like, okay, I'm level 20, I'm going to get to level 25 probably in the next 2 hours. I get there. All right, cool. Level 25. Now I can
Mhm.
blast through this area. Then
Yep.
again, all right, now I'm going to try to get to level 30. Just grind away. That's my gameplay.
Mhm.
That's how I enjoy games. So for Diablo 3, killing a whole mess of bugs or zombies in a specific crypt, and then seeing
Mhm.
all those lights of orange, purple, uh that catches my eye. I know it's done on purpose, but that
Mhm.
catches my eye, and I'm just like, okay, what's this? Ooh, this one does you know plus 10 more experience per kill
Yep.
than the one that I have. Okay, yeah, I'll get that one. Ooh, this one's plus 50 defense and poison resistance, whatever it is. That's what I like, that's what I enjoy, and that's why I put like hundreds of
Nice.
hours into Diablo 3. Going into Diablo 2, I only have about 3 hours into it. I picked the necromancer just to begin with, just because I
Cool,
loved
cool.
how he was in Diablo 3. But I'm noticing it's not the same. It's not as eye catching as Diablo 3, but that's because of the aesthetics, and they went for the
Mhm.
darker tone, which I do
Mhm.
like. I do like the darker
Yeah.
tone. I do like the more um apocalyptic feel, and
It's more creepy looking compared to 3, right?
yeah,
Like, not
yeah.
as cartoony.
I'm not going into a crypt
Yeah,
filled with
yeah.
spider webs, and there's this purple glowing spider. It doesn't
No.
that threw me out of the experience. That initially tells me you're playing a video game. You're playing a game. Remember that. As
Yeah.
opposed to Diablo 2, I go
Remember
into a
this.
crypt, and there's
It's
it's
creepy.
creepy. There's spider webs, whatever. But the zombies look like zombies. The skeletons look like skeletons. They don't look like skeletons
Yep.
with rhinestones for eyes or something like that. Just as an extreme. So
Right.
I'm there in the middle. I'm there where I'm loving the aesthetic. I'm loving the feel. I'm loving the
Yeah.
everything about what's presented to me. I just need to I guess wrap my head around the new gameplay, and
Yeah.
that's
Step
where I'm at. That the new gameplay, trying to step away from Diablo 3 and say, hey, this is how this one does it. This is how this
Mhm.
game does loot or progression. So it's not as streamlined, but
Ah.
I think it's just because I'm so used to Diablo 3 just making it
Yep.
so easy for me. This one I have to read a little bit more, so I'm gonna put more time
Yeah.
into it. That's why I got it on the Switch, because I can play the Switch anywhere I want.
On the go.
So
And how did you feel the controls went with the Switch version?
I love it. I mean, it's similar
Nice.
to Diablo 3. The only thing it's missing is the roll mechanic, but I don't think
Yeah,
that was
no.
there. I don't think it
No, it
was
was
there.
not.
Yeah.
It absolutely was not there.
So
On that time.
the controls are great. The controls are fine.
Mhm,
Frame rate, I think it's 30 frames per second, but I mean, it's hardly noticeable on the Switch.
mhm,
Playing in handheld mode, which is where I play the
mhm.
most on it, and
Yeah.
I'm loving it on the Switch. That's why I love the Switch for these type of games, RPGs on the go. And
You you know what's great? I can actually play with you on your Switch while I'm on my PC. The crossplay mechanic is there.
do you know if that's
So,
only on the Switch and PC, or can you do that with PlayStation and
no,
Xbox?
they say you can do it with all of them.
Oh, that's perfect.
They say you can do. Oh, dude, crossplay is the it's going to become the biggest thing now, man. They needed to make sure that all the consoles can do that.
Yeah, that's a
They
huge
needed to make
plus.
sure they could all do that. So I think they're all going off of
BattleNet.
the Battle.net network. So um, that's the big network that Blizzard's used forever for all their online games. I'll give you some little cliff notes right now for what you're going to experience in Diablo 2, coming from a person who's played it quite a bit. So I'll give you a heads up right now. Uh, Health regeneration is not really going to happen as often unless you pick a certain class. So get ready to use potions. You are going to be using potions
I've
to
noticed
heal
that.
yourself up.
I've noticed
You're
that.
gonna you're gonna be picking up potions like a madman. Like they're gonna be all over, and then you're gonna have 8 of them on. You can have 4 on your top row. On that little row that's in the bottom.
Yeah.
You'll have 4 of them there, and then you're also if you wear a belt, you get an additional 4. So you'll get 8 in total that you can have on your belt. So that way you can take it off your inventory. Inventory management is going to be nuts. you're gonna
I've
you're gonna be
noticed that.
cramming a lot of.
I'm like,
You're
is
gonna
this
cram
Resident
them.
Evil 4?
Yep, you're gonna be cramming stuff in that inventory. You're gonna be using your cat. You're gonna be using your stash a lot. Be sure to buy a Tome of Identity and Tome of Town Portal as soon as possible, because those are going to be your 2 things you need to, the little scrolls, the Scroll of Identity, Scroll of
Yeah.
Town Portal. So get those books so you can put 20 of those scrolls into each of those books, so that way you don't have to carry them all over the place.
Okay.
So you gotta get those 2 books. That's like a first thing you gotta do. And here is the other most interesting thing about Diablo 2. So in Diablo 3, they give you all the skills. You have the ability to lock every single skill, and use it to your heart's content, like however you want. But in Diablo 2, you are going to be able to get a nice amount of skills. But the other great thing that I liked about it is you get to really, really specialize your character, and you have to level up your character how you want it to. So, so sometimes you're gonna want a barbarian that's more focused on axes and whirlwind, um, and you're gonna have to really specialize your class. So when you were leveling up, you saw like the little skill trees that were coming out, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta pick and choose your destiny, man. How you want to level up your character.
I picked 2 so far. So I picked
All right.
the skeleton dudes, and I've
Yes.
been increasing that because I'd rather have like a whole army of skeletons
There you go.
fighting for me. I don't want to fight. I'm letting
You could.
these dudes take pick them out.
Yes.
And I
Let
also have
let 'em, dude.
some like light force that like I get to throw at enemies. So
Okay.
I'm really attacking from afar. I'm usually using
Beautiful.
the skeletons to attack for me or distract, and I'm on the
Mm.
side, and I'll line up 2 or 3 enemies, and I'll throw that burst of light or fire, whatever that thing is that I'm shooting, and I knock 2. I kill 2 or maybe hopefully 3, but that's how I'm playing, and that's how I'm enjoying the
Nice.
gameplay. I'm loving it.
Beautiful. And I'm actually doing the complete opposite. I got the barbarian again. So right now I'm rocking an axe in each hand. I'm leveling up the axe mastery right now. So uh it's going beautifully. I'm still on the first act, but just completing every act. And then it probably has a different impact on me because I have like the huge nostalgia wagon for this game as well. But I just love Diablo 2 or D2. Anyone who wants to witness something that was really special back in 2000 when this game came out, this is a beauty of a gem. But if you're coming from Diablo 3, it is not Diablo 3.
It's not.
just
It's
gonna,
not.
I'm gonna give that heads up now. It's not Diablo 3. So some different things we did back then. But overall, it's a fantastic pickup, man. The amount of art time and everything they spent to restore it is amazing, and they even restored the cutscenes. So I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, really, really, really good game so far. So that's what I'm playing. Today we're gonna be talking about the biggest headline news is Nintendo Direct that
Yep,
recently
yep,
happened.
yep. Nintendo Direct, September 23rd.
A lot of news happened, a lot of stuff that got announced for the first time, a lot of stuff that was rumored that we spoke about on in the previous podcast got
Nintendo
shown off.
64.
Sega Genesis, Sega, and
Yeah.
some revealing cast members for an upcoming movie. Um,
Ooh, it's a movie. It's a me. A movie.
or what we may hear is it's a me, Mario. Um,
It's a me, Mario. No, it's a movie, man. It's a me, a movie. Like it's a movie time.
it's movie time.
It's movie
Um,
time.
So to begin with, we're gonna go with the smaller headlines. These games are in no way lesser than what we're gonna be talking about later, but they are, um, small tidbits of I guess what the game is gonna be, compared to what we're gonna be talking about in more in depth later. But some headlines from the show. They announced Party Super Mario Party Superstars. It's a new, I guess, Super Mario Party with some levels from the N64 version of the
Yeah.
games.
Five levels to be exact, they said. Five from the N64 status. Mario Party, a game that I really liked back then for the N64. But yeah, Mario Party Superstars has already been out, so the reimagined, they're just trying to bring some N64 maps into the main Mario Party games.
Yeah, that's gonna be a new addition, I guess, or is it a lone release? Do you know if you need the recent Switch Mario Party?
I believe you need the recent. Well, it's called Mario Party Superstars, so I think you need the most recent one that's going to come out.
Okay,
It's going to be available on October 29th.
October 29th. There you go. So
October 29th.
perfect
Mhm.
family or friend party game if you want to hate each other afterwards.
Yes, you lose friendships when you steal stars. Usually.
Don't steal stars from your friends.
If you use Boo, I will forever look at you with a scowl forever. You're not coming to my family parties no more. Yeah. They're going to point at your name and then you're going to say, oh, yeah, we should invite him. If I do remember last time in Mario Party, he stole a star right at the end. Nah, I don't think so. He's fine. He's doing good.
The next one was a I guess an RPG using cards. Uh,
You know what? I'm actually really big into card games myself. I think I mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh in the past in the podcast, so
a couple
I enjoy
times.
card battlers.
Yeah, I do too. Certain games, Yu-Gi-Oh is also one that I played. Metal Gear Acid is a huge card game that I love. I don't know if anybody's
Mm.
out there has heard of it, but it's a good card
Hmm.
game in the Metal Gear universe.
Came out with a sequel too. There's two Metal Gear Acid games, I believe.
Yes, Metal Gear
Yeah,
Acid and then Metal Gear Acid 2.
yeah. So
Um,
this is called Voice of Cards: The Isle Dragon Roars.
so that one got announced. If you're into
Yeah,
RPGs and card games, check this one out.
yeah.
Uh,
October 28th. That one's coming out.
October 28th. And then we also got announced with Wave 2 DLC for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. They showed off some
Dynasty
gameplay.
Warriors Hyrule Edition.
Pretty much. I played it, I beat it, I loved it. I wish
Nice.
it had better frame rate. The frame rate would dip like maybe in the teens. It
Really?
would just dip
Oh
so
man.
hard for you'd have 40 enemies on screen and you happen to want to do your special at that one moment, because it's so good to use your special at that time. And
That sounds like it'll be really hard to render. I believe it.
yeah, the game just
That's a
chugs.
lot.
Um, so that one got announced as well.
Yep. That one's it's gonna be available on October 29th.
October 29th.
So
Okay, so
October 29th, Wave 2, Guardian of Remembrance. So new story, new stages, newly added playable characters, um, just more downloadable content coming in.
yeah, and the next one was what's the next one? Chocobo GP.
Oh, of course, because we needed another kart racer.
That got announced for Final Fantasy characters, little
Yes.
chibi chocobos and black mages. That got announced. If you're into those, mascot racers.
Yeah, if you don't like Mario, get Sonic. If you don't like Sonic, get Chocobo. If you don't like, they make a car racer for whatever character you want. Like they're every kind of content. Like just get a kart racer of it. You're good.
That one has a local and online multiplayer. So if you're very interested in one of these, when does it come out, Jesse?
Let me see.
Does
Oh,
it have
2022. So no official dates coming out yet.
okay, just a release
20
year.
2022. But I did like the chibi style. I like the cuteness of it. It was just very again interesting. It's just you know what we need? We need Sonic R to be re-released again. Like just do it again. But because that was Sonic. Well, I know we have all those Sega Team Racers. We have the like the All Star, the Sega Sonic and Sega All Stars transform like Sonic and all of them in cars. But a Sega Saturn game back then called Sonic R. I mean, the soundtrack was questionable, but we need that like Sonic running again racing. That would be legit. I think they can do that. I think they can do that again. That would be dope.
Do it, Sega.
Do it, Sega. I'm saying, do Sonic R remastered. And you could even you just don't take the R out. Just remaster Sonic remastered, but then capitalize the R. There you go. Sega, hire me, marketing team. I'm here. Application out there.
uh, sounds
Putting
awesome.
myself out there already. Sega, just look at me. I'm right here.
Next announcement was new content coming to your island for Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's going to be
That's
a
right.
direct featuring just Animal Crossing, so that's going to be pretty huge for people who play Animal Crossing today. Still,
Hmm.
when did they announce when that will be taking place?
No, I don't see it here. October.
October.
Airing in October. So I think we have to wait for more information.
Okay.
I think no more details are coming on. The details are actually coming in. Oh my God! Animal Crossing is getting its own direct. It says
Yes,
Animal Crossing Direct.
that's what I just said.
Huh?
That's what I just said. That
Oh,
they're
my
having their
bad.
own direct. It's
Not
gonna be
bad, my
huge.
bad. Like, yeah, I'm just surprised because I'm just seeing it on the video in front of me right now too. Sorry, I double spaced on that. My bad. But yeah, no, October is when that's coming out.
Okay, and the next one, what's the next headline? Two games and one game update.
Hold on, let's see. The two games, one game update. I believe that one was involving with Mario. Mario Golf. The the Mario Golf Super Rush is getting its second update. So now you can play as the Koopa Troopa. Yay for the Koopa Troopa fans if they love it. If you love Koopa Troopa, hey, not hating on you if you did, better you don't, but Koopa Troopa. If you love him, you love him. Go for it.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then
there you go.
you also get to play as Ninji. I do not know where this character comes from,
I think
and two
that's a
addition.
enemy from like Super Mario 2. Like
Really?
I think those are
Okay.
like the creatures that when it's like dark in the cave, they keep jumping up and down.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm not entirely sure.
But you're also going to get two additional courses, and it's coming. Oh, and this one actually already came out today. So if you already have the game, it's already coming out on. It's already been uploaded onto the system. Mario Golf Super Rush,
There you go.
free update. You there? And then the second game that came out was the second one I was talking about was the Disney game that's coming out. Disney Magical World 2 Enchanted Edition. I do not know much about this game myself, but it looks like just a lot of Disney. Oh, you get to decorate your me in Disney fashion.
Hmm, nice.
There you
Um,
go.
and something that's completely opposite of Disney is they showed off Dying Light 2 Stay Human running on the Switch through the cloud version.
Oh, actually, right before you go through that, the last
Oh,
mentioning of no, yeah, there was actually just one more game. Sorry about that. There's actually one more game right after that. Knights of the Old Republic, the original one, is coming out on the Switch.
oh, there you go. It's I believe fourteen
That's
ninety
the fun.
nine
There
on
you go.
release.
So if you want to get Knights of the Old Republic before Knights of the Old Republic, the remaster, you got an option. You got one coming up.
Okay, there you go. Knights of the Old Republic, the original one that came out on PC and Xbox. 15 plus years ago, is coming on the Switch. 14.99 when it launches.
Love it. So
What's
you
the
get to
release
experience
date
it
on
first.
that? November. I believe
Oh,
it's in November.
I didn't see that. Hold on a second. Didn't let's see. Go back to that. Let's see. Going back to that one. Hold on. Let's see. It's yeah. It was a little bit of a later date. It wasn't something that came out immediately. It was definitely was later. Oh, I'm not seeing it from the video right here.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
it's coming out November 11th, from what I'm
Okay.
seeing.
Nice. All right. But perfect. But yeah. Choose your side, light side or light or the Sith or whoever you want. But it's your own adventure. If you missed your chance on the original Xbox One, go for it. You got it.
Okay. And Dying Light 2, they showed off
That's right.
running on the cloud version of that. It looks pretty good, but I won't be getting this on the Switch. I'll be getting this like on my PS5. Um,
Okay, for sure.
and
Have
then
you? How is Dying Light? I never because this is like another one of those like similar. This is a zombie game, correct?
yeah, it's an open world
Okay.
parkour zombie game.
Okay.
Really good. I love the first one. I played it on PS4 when it released. It did have some issues with performance on those consoles, just
Mm.
because rendering so many zombies and physics and the open world nature of it. But
Hmm.
if you have an Xbox Series X, it did get an update on that console where it runs up to 60 frames per second, which is the preferred way to play Dying Light now, for at least for me, just for that smooth frame rate.
Hmm.
But Dying Light is also coming, the first one in the Platinum Edition, coming to Switch natively, not the cloud
Nice.
version. So I'm very interested in seeing how that's going to run on Switch, seeing that it struggled on PS4 and Xbox One.
So when you mean the cloud version, that means it's an all online version. Is that what you mean?
Yes, the cloud versions,
Okay.
which the Switch does have a couple of these type of games already on there. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Another one that I've tried is Control. Control has a cloud version, and what I really like about these is that, I mean, I would never get the cloud version of a game, but if you're interested or if you're curious on will my Switch run, is my internet good, they do always have a demo version. So I believe you're able to play like a set amount of time, like 15 minutes or 30 minutes of the game, and you get to see whether your internet can, pretty much keep up with the gameplay. So you do have that
Nice.
also. They did announce that Dying Light 2 will have a demo that same day. So
Okay.
you can at least try out the cloud version if you're kind of skeptical about it.
Hmm.
The next
Ooh.
one is the triangle strategy. They went a little bit more into gameplay on this one. I don't think this one has a set release date. I think it's for next year though. But if you're into,
Oh, it actually does. It's got March 4th, 2022.
there you go, an actual
Yeah.
date. Hopefully it doesn't
Nice.
get delayed.
Delayed.
But
No delays here. But I did dig this game when I saw it on the trailers, when I saw it on Friday.
yeah,
It was a
art style is like Octopath Traveler. If you guys have seen that.
mhm. It's
Um,
like paper, it's like paper, not paper mache, but like paper characters kind of like on 3D landscapes.
they're trying to do like the Super Nintendo graphics of pixel art, but in HD.
Yeah. And
So
it's like Final
it really
Fantasy
looks really
Tactics,
nice.
right?
Yeah, they're trying to do
Yes.
the tactics thing, which I
I
love,
like it. Dude, that's so good. This reminds me of Advance Wars also.
which is also coming out this year.
Yes.
Next one, they went into Metroid Dread, a new trailer, gameplay trailer. I'm already psyched up for this
Yes.
one. This one, I'm hyped. I'm over the hills for. I cannot wait for Metroid Dread when that releases. I'm
Yep.
all over that weekend.
We're
Um,
here. We're all gonna be on classic Metroid status. We buying that day one.
so I'm officially done with Metroid. I don't need to see anymore.
Nope, we're good. We've already seen what we needed to see. Classic, awesome 2D Metroid action coming out.
Next was Disco Elysium, the final cut. That's coming out on the Nintendo Switch. I've never played this game, but I hear nothing but praise for this
Really.
narrative driven game. It's isometric as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that got announced. That's already available on PC and PlayStation.
Okay. So now it's finally coming out on the Switch. You're saying?
Yeah,
Okay, October 12th looks like.
October 12th. So that's like
Yeah,
3 weeks
coming
from now.
up. Oh my God, we're already near the end of 2021.
It's coming quick, man.
Oh man, years passed by too soon, man. They passed by too quick.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around 2020, and it's already ending with 2021 right now.
No, 2020 was last year. We already, it's already done, man.
Next one was one of my favorite posts from the direct, which is the collection of Castlevania Advanced titles coming to the Switch and
Yes,
everything else, but primarily on the Switch is where I'll be playing this one. Uh,
there we go. Same
what
here.
what
I
what is it?
usually
What does it come with, Jesse?
the games that it come with all together. So we have, if you want it, it's Castlevania Circle of the Moon, which was a DS, Aria of Sorrow, which is the most popular one, I believe, at the time. And then it comes with Dracula X. And then I didn't get that final game.
Harmony of Dissonance.
There you go. That's the final game. So I didn't say that one, did I? Harmony of Dissonance.
It was
I don't
Circle of
remember if I
the
said that.
Moon, Harmony of
Oh yeah.
Dissonance, Aria of
Oh,
Sorrow.
there you go. Yes, Aria of Sorrow. Okay, you're right. I didn't say Harmony of. I didn't say Harmony before. So yes, those are the four games that are coming out. You have a replay function, so you don't have to die mercilessly every time. You can actually reverse and undie. So they're doing the. I think that's becoming popular in a lot of retro games. I remember that from Duke Nukem, where the newest Duke Nukem that came out, the World Tour Edition, where when you die, you actually just reverse back to right before you died, or so you can redo it again. And a lot of retro games are doing that option. They're doing like the reverse. So if you fall down, reverse, switch. It's a great quality of life mechanic to add. But a lot of the purists out there are going to say that's not the way to play. Like that's what they'll say. If you die, you die. Hey man, play however you want to play. The thing with me with video games is fun however you want to have fun with it. Do you want the replay function? Great. You don't want it. You don't want to be, you want to be a purist and not use it. Go ahead, be my guest. Like have a harder time if you want.
Dude, I have like maybe 2 hours max a day if I get that 2 hour window to play a
Yeah.
video game. And if it offers me this, the replay function, the save stuff,
Yep.
the save slots, I don't have to
Yep.
find a save for whatever reason. I
Yep.
welcome it. I'd rather, you
Play
know
it.
what? I'm gonna save this right before the boss. If I die, I'm gonna just load up back up and fight the boss again.
Save.
I don't have time to die. Oh my god, I have to go all the way back. There's specific games for that. I'll play Dark
Yeah.
Souls and I'll play it like that, but games like this, I just want to enjoy these GBA classics. I love Castlevania, and I beat these already when I was a kid. And
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I had like 10,
Hours.
12 hours
Hours.
to do this, and I don't know
You
how many batteries, but uh, now I just want to beat it. I just want to play
you know
through, enjoy it.
you know what happened, Josh? Adulting happened.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I don't have
I
time.
don't I don't got time to go through this whole level again to do to make it all the way through. So I'm actually 1000% with you because like I said before, classes and work and everything. Yes, I like this function. Yes, I want to replay right before the boss. I don't want to do it. Are you kidding me? On all my FPSs, I'm hitting restart. Like I'm on all my first person shooters. I love the fact that it saves at every moment. So some people get upset at it, and some dude, do you got time? Hey, if you got time, do whatever you want. But
I
I
welcome
I
it.
enjoy the feature. I absolutely welcome it. So Castlevania, thank you. Also, fun fact: if you did not know, Dracula X was actually it's actually a new imagining of another game called Rondo of Blood, which came out on the PC engine. But then the Dracula X version is what we got on the Super Nintendo. So that is what's included in this advanced collection.
There you go. Some
So
neato factoids
there
of
you go. Little additional tidbits of knowledge for you.
uh,
little added.
what else got added? What else got announced?
So, oh, are you talking about in the during the collections?
Yeah, during the collections.
I didn't pay too much. I pay attention to. There's another one called Paradox Interactive, which it looks like it's an isometric type of game with a lot of text. It kind of looks like not gonna say Fallout, but It looks it's kind of interesting actually. It looks it actually looks like old school walking around and like in dark corridors. It kind of is like StarCraft but without the it's kind of like StarCraft but without actually minions and stuff. You're just controlling the characters.
Yeah,
So another isometric viewer.
it reminded me of like Wasteland. That's what it
Here we
reminded
go.
me of.
I never played the original Fallouts, like Fallout 1 and 2. But it kind of looks like that a little bit. But
Okay.
not but obviously it doesn't have all the I don't know if it has the RPG elements with it, but um it looked pretty cool, but it didn't jump my attention right away, but
Same here.
if it's
Yeah.
your float, then go for it.
Um.
And then the next game that was announced after that was Razor. It's getting remastered in HD. I did not play it originally, but I heard this name a lot of times.
Same. I've
I
never
heard
played
it.
it.
But I've heard it a lot. I've heard it was like it was one of those really rare Nintendo Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
It was one of those like one of those like a top tier title, and this is a remaster. This is not even a this is not even like releasing it on the Switch like just how it was in the Super Nintendo. No, they're redesigning all the characters and everything.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, the first one was amazing, and the second one was okay. But this is the a remaster of the first one, which it is available on Nintendo Switch. I believe it's also landing on PlayStation, and I'm not sure if it's on Xbox.
Available
But
now.
yeah,
Yeah, available
that's
this second.
available now. The next thing that they added was a new chapter in the Delta Rune, which is like an Undertale story. It's a I guess it's a subsidiary. It's
Mhm,
complementary to the Undertale games. I never
mhm.
played Undertale, so I don't have
Me neither.
much into this. I just know that it does remind me a lot of old school RPGs. It reminds me a lot of Earthbound. So
Mhm.
I know I have to give it a chance because I've heard nothing but good stuff from it too.
Okay, okay. And then after that, well, no, they just showed a couple of games right afterwards. Like they had a Hot Wheels Unleashed, which is another racer, not a kart racer, but it's another racer. Oh, look, you can build your own little Hot Wheels area. Paradox Interactive, I think we already mentioned that. Um, it's just like a slew of additional games that people might be interested in, like another different version of Pac-Man. Um, but no, just like a little tail end of like more things to come.
Okay. And those were like the headlines. So if you got excited for any of those headlines, just know that there's bigger headlines that we're going to be talking about, and this direct was just jam packed of just announcements. It just had
Yeah,
so many games, and some of my favorite games are the ones that are saying and it's available now to download. I love when I hear a new announcement and they just lead in with like, "Oh yeah, and you can download it today." Like that
you can get.
Castlevania one. It wasn't like, "Oh, here's Game Boy Advance Castlevanias and it's coming out in November 20 something." Nah, it's available today.
Imagine they're all like, "Oh, it's coming out," and imagine they put 11 on there, and at first you're thinking, "Oh shoot, it's gonna be out in November," and then it says 11:59, so which means tonight at midnight, like tonight at midnight. They could do that little trickery right there. That's cool. That'd be legit to me.
Like I heard it's bad for marketing because you don't have time for, to market your game or for people to get excited or pre-order and stuff
Mhm,
like that, but for me watching the direct live as it's happening
mhm.
and they say and it's available now, I go straight to my Switch or
Yeah,
I'll go straight to my PlayStation or Xbox and I'm already looking at the store page to download.
you
That's
you
my favorite feeling in the world is
you can't get more hype than that. That's good.
yeah, I love those announcements. Oh, you here's our new game Fallout 6 and it's available now. You
Right
know,
at this second. Don't even wait. $60. Let's go.
that's
Throw it in
those
there.
are the announcements I like. But the next announcements that we saw, the
Big
first one
daddies, the big
is
ones.
Monster Hunter Rise update. It's going to be a DLC expansion. What is
Hmm.
its title?
It is Monster Hunter let's see, New Ones on the Horizon. I don't have an official title
I believe it's
just
called
yet.
Sunbreak.
Sunbreak. Okay, coming out summer 22. But yeah, I never played any Monster. Yes, it is. You're correct. Sunbreak. I've never played any of the Monster Hunter series, but again, it's another one of those games. Actually, it's very popular right now. It's Capcom. It's Capcom's other cash cow right now, besides Street Fighter and Mega Man.
Yeah, well, Monster Hunter World is now Capcom's best-selling game ever.
Really?
It finally beat
Wow.
Resident Evil 5 and I believe
Oh.
Super Street Fighter 2. It's
Oh my
it's
goodness.
it's
Monster
up
Hunter
there.
World.
Monster
And
Hunter
that's
World.
and the expansion to this game is for that game specifically?
No, this one is for the Switch version, which also has a PC version coming out next year, sometime next year. But
Okay.
it's only for this version of it. And I played Monster Hunter Rise. I love it. It's
Mhm.
one of my favorite games this year
Mhm.
that came out. It's such an addicting game. It's a very difficult game to get into, just
Mm.
because it's not very casual friendly. It's not very it's
Mm.
hard to introduce a new person to all these mechanics that
Mhm.
make the game, you know, what it is. I
Mm.
played this game. I played Monster Hunter for the first time like years ago. I was in high school, had a PSP,
Mhm.
and one, nobody else that I knew had a PSP, and even let alone had Monster Hunter. So I learned the mechanics on my own without YouTube because this was also before YouTube, and I just learned them, and I grew in love with the game because I love the whole aspect of, you know, search for monsters, hunt them down, kill them, and use their parts, their, you know, their monster bones and their skin and you know, their skull for weapons and armor sets. It just looked cool. Monster Hunter
Nice.
Rise, it basically makes the combat, or at least the movement, the traversal faster, quicker, easier. And then you can play with like all the other Monster Hunter games. You can play co-op. You can play with three other people. So
All hunt monsters together?
yeah, hunting the monster
Nice.
together, bigger monsters, bigger, you know, bigger armor
Bigger
sets
payouts,
and
bigger
weapons.
armors.
But yeah, this game,
Nice.
they didn't really have much to say. They just had an announcement of it with this new dragon I've never seen before. So I'm definitely hyped for this one. I'm really excited. I didn't know that they would do an expansion, but this
Mhm.
game is going to be even bigger once it releases on PC. So this one's one to look out for. Um,
Nice.
Next one is a new game announcement. What is it?
Kirby is coming out in 3D. Now, don't get me wrong, he's been out in 3D, like 2D 3D worlds, like where they've done like 3D models instead.
Yeah.
But this is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So this is now, correct me if I'm wrong, this is Kirby's now first full walk around 3D game
Yes.
where
This
you
is the first
can,
time.
this is his first time. So he's doing the Mario 64 route. He is now in full. He has all his abilities of the suction and taking the powers, everything that's Kirby, but now in a full 3D, and it looks like a post-apocalyptic land that he's in.
Yeah, it's I think it's Kirby meets The Last of Us. That's
There you
pretty much
go. And then Kirby meets the last of it. And yeah, he has all his abilities, and Kirby just looks really good in 3D. I don't know how to say it, but it just works. At least from what I've seen right now, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I really love the Kirby games, specifically the GBA games. Um,
I played the Super Nintendo one, the Superstar Saga.
okay, I think they had a DS version of that one, which I also played that version. But I
Wow.
always loved the 2D games,
Yeah.
the platforming and taking the abilities of the enemies. But this one looks interesting. This one looks
Ooh, I
like
really like it.
it looks like one of those, like, why haven't we gotten this before?
Right? What took so long?
How is this the first one?
Why is this the first time we're experiencing Kirby in 3D? Like, why? Like, for reals? Like,
I'm excited for this one. This one
it feels
is legitimately a cool announcement that I liked.
Oh, people's heads were going all over the place when they saw Kirby in 3D.
Um, that one's coming out. No release window or no release date.
It's,
Just 2022
spring
spring.
22. Yeah,
Yeah.
spring 2022.
Okay. So
Yeah, no official date yet, but spring.
okay. So we have that one to look forward to. Again, Kirby, the what is it? Forgotten Lands or
In the
Land?
Forgotten Land. Yeah.
Okay, that one looks really
So
good. Very
right,
colorful.
that one again, platformers. Let me just make sure I got everything correct here with my let me make sure I got everything correct with my naming here. And the boss fight with the giant gorilla looked pretty funny. Like pretty looked pretty good, man. I liked it.
Yeah, right before he
Yeah,
squeezes
I
them.
like when he grabs them through the window and then and then shoves them outside, and then they get at it. So Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So yeah, Kirby 3D. And then here's Mario and Sonic and Donkey Kong in the background. What are you doing? What took so long? What you late for the party? It's like Kirby's coming in. I'm finally in the game, and then Mario's like counting on the back of his hand. He's been in how many? He's like, oh, that's cool. That's neat.
We have three other announcements. There's one that's clear, the bigger announcement I feel. So we'll save that one for the last thing that we talk about. But the
Mhm,
next segment that they went on with for the featured ones was
mhm,
Splatoon 3. They showed off new gameplay, I guess, new areas
mhm.
that we're gonna be seeing. Um, Jesse, are you into Splatoon? I don't think you ever played Splatoon, or do you have any
I
experience with
actually
it?
I I actually have not played Splatoon. I haven't I never played it on the Switch yet. Here again, I know it's like a repeating trend, but here a lot of great things. I did like the idea of a different shooter that is not about straight up just killing straight up. It's about covering the most paint with your land, and that's awesome. That's that's always great. And then you're rolling it all over. And Splatoon has been a very popular one through the online community as well for Switch. So a third game was just likely to happen. It was coming out.
Yeah, Splatoon 2 is actually one of my favorite Switch games. Um,
Nice.
like you said, it's a very great concept that I actually really appreciate that Nintendo did a shooter that
Right.
didn't target the mature audience. It's a family friendly shooter. There's no killing. There's not even the
No.
word name killing. It's basically you're splatting,
Yep.
you're inking your enemy, and basically the for those that are unaware of the game, you basically have the gameplay of trying to paint your color that you started out with. So there's going to be two colors, your color and the enemy color, and you're trying to fill your the whole field with your paint, your color ink. So if you're pink team and the enemy is green, by the end of the match, which is about I believe 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you're trying to make sure that you have more pink than green, and in
Mm.
order to eliminate your opponent, you have to shoot them with your colored ink for X
Right.
amount to knock them out. Basically, that teleports them to the beginning of their side of the area, which they lose about 10 seconds, which is crucial because
Ooh.
within 10 seconds you can just you cover the field with your paint more often, and there's traversal. You can paint on the wall so that you can start swimming in your own ink because they're like octopus, they're like squids, so
Mm,
you are able to swim within your color of paint, and then also get
mhm,
up to different areas of the map to also either have an advantage to shoot down on your enemies or
mhm,
paint more stuff that you couldn't get just by jumping. uh, really love the weapons. Really love the even more so the customization with the armor. The armor is all fashion. On
mhm.
my character, I have my cap backwards, a t-shirt, some shorts,
Nice.
some van looking shoes.
Oh, you're
Uh,
the cool kid on the block,
I'm the
huh?
cool kid. I'm the '90s cool kid,
Yes.
looking like in Splatoon. But
Good,
I
good.
love that. I love that game. I love the music. Um, so Splatoon 3, I'm really excited for it. I'll be getting that day one.
Awesome.
Hopefully we get a better single player. It's not known for the single player, but
Okay.
I do want a single player campaign that actually makes sense. Um,
Awesome.
so look forward to that. The next one, which they finally showed off, Bayonetta 3. I thought they were
Ugh,
gonna be. This was
without it for whatever
this was
reason.
dead for since the announcement 4 years ago, um,
Yep.
and they finally showed it.
2017 was the announcement.
They finally showed off Bayonetta 3. What did you think of it, Jesse?
Dude, I am loving Bayonetta is back. Like she is the other besides Dante, she is the hack and slash that I love. I did not play the second one. I played the first one on my 360. And I loved the first one.
Okay.
So this is the witch time, the slowing down time right before you're about to get hit or attacked. Like even on the trailer, when they're attacking all the enemies and everything, and they're trying to destroy them, but then when the enemy tries to attack, it goes into witch time. You already know witch time. The moment it happens, the moment you see that the moment you see that little effect, as soon as it's about to attack, boom! Like oh, there it is, witch time. You already know what it is the moment that happens. And
I loved what I saw from it.
yes, and then Bayonetta's back with her big hair, turning it into gigantic fist again, baby. So it's gonna be looking really good, and this is gonna be another headline game for the Switch again. And now Bayonetta has braids. Bayonetta. Now we had the longer hair, we had the big pony, we had the up top ponytail in the past, we had the shorter hairstyle from Bayonetta 2, and now we got braids.
I kind of like that. I kind of like the different hairstyles in each game that she's had so far.
Yeah,
So far, though, I do prefer Bayonetta 2 hairstyle.
the
Um,
shorter hair one
yeah, I feel
for sure.
I liked how she looked in that one, but yeah, Bayonetta 3, a lot of action, a lot of I like the art style that they're going with on this one.
Hmm.
I feel kind of weird with kaiju versus kaiju, um, from what it looked like
Hmm.
from the boss battles, but Platinum Games. This is one of those games that they just focus on very well, and
Right.
they execute even better. So I'm really
Platinum
excited for that one.
Platinum Games has knocked it out of the park. They also did the Metal Gear Revengeance game.
Yes.
They
Uh,
did that, so they took the hack and slash from that one too. So yeah, with the added kaiju, I think this is just going to be another added feature to make. I mean, you got to go big or go home. You got to go with the new things, man. You got to see what else you can do with Bayonetta. But I'm loving it. It looks and again, besides Devil May Cry, this is another we mentioned before. There's a lot of different hack and slashes out there, but this is coming from the originators, the people who groundbreaked it.
so that's how they ended up with the show. But the biggest announcement I feel is what we spoke about last week, which
Yes,
came
they
into
did it.
fruition.
They
Um,
did it.
what
It's
did they
on.
do?
We get an N64 games on the Switch.
Is that it? Is that the only thing we're getting?
No, of course not. We are also getting Sega Genesis games on the Switch. Boom, boom. You're getting two systems added on to the into the Switch library. So now there is a Switch library for N64 games and for Genesis games.
Yeah, so they announced two platforms coming to the Nintendo Switch online service uh, through, I guess, what they're calling the expansion pack membership. So it's going to be uh,
Right.
an extra tier within the membership itself. It's going to cost more. They didn't go into detail on how much it's going to be or when
Mhm.
exactly it'll launch. They just said
Yeah.
tune in
Uh,
next month to figure
yeah, they
out.
said it has something to do with the late October.
Yeah,
The actual membership, more plans is coming out. Like how you just said, at the end of October, they'll actually tell us how much it is.
yeah.
They'll actually give us the heads up.
So a lot of the ones that we went through yesterday, they're it's actually coming. They're coming to the platform, to the actual membership plan. So for Nintendo
Yeah.
64, they're adding Super Mario 64. So for
Hmm.
those that never bought the collection last year,
Right,
it's
right. If
coming to
you
the
if you
membership.
didn't buy it already, it's coming. It's coming on this.
Mario Kart 64,
Of course. If it did, I'd be surprised if that didn't go on on the console.
Star Fox 64,
Another one I'd be surprised if it didn't go on the console.
Yoshi's Story.
I actually enjoyed Yoshi's Story. I actually really liked that. That was a very peaceful game compared to other platformers.
I love Yoshi's Story. I have a horrible memory of it, of me crying in the middle of Blockbuster because I specifically wanted my uncle to rent Yoshi's Story, and he reluctantly he
Really?
reluctantly rented it. And since I couldn't read at the time, or I didn't understand what the rat was trying to tell me. I didn't know how to
Mhm.
do the ground pound, and I was stuck there for the whole time. And my cousin was like, he passed through it, and he's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
see, I passed it." And I was like, "Okay, give me the controller." And he's like, "No, you have to do it on your own now." And he restarted the console. Later on, as when I was a teenager, I got Yoshi Story again, and I knew what to do.
There you
But
go. You knew what to do this time.
Yoshi Story will always be that game that I'm like, yeah, I did cry in the middle of a Blockbuster just to get that game, just because I
Nice.
loved Yoshi.
There you
Um,
go.
they also showed off, or at least announced, that Sin and Punishment will be joining the service.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue what that game is.
It's like an on
Uh,
rails shooter.
okay, see, this is that obscure game I'm telling you. They always put these obscure games in there.
I love Sin and Punishment. I played it on the
Oh,
Wii.
you've played this game?
Yeah, I played it. I
Oh,
played it
okay.
on the Wii when they had the service there for the virtual console. So I picked that one up as well. But
Oh,
now
okay.
I'll
My
have it
bad.
on the
It
go.
was there you go. My bad. It was obscure to me. I never heard of it until now. So okay, Sin and Punishment.
Dr. Mario 64.
I never played it, but I saw it at the video store all the time.
It's a good puzzle game. It's
Hmm.
similar to Tetris, but not
Hmm.
Tetris. You're just trying to match the pills with the viruses
Yeah,
on their
that's how the
colors.
original Dr. Mario was too.
Yeah. Mario
Nice.
Tennis. I love Mario
I l-
Tennis.
that is a great tennis game.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
not overall, it's amazing. I love Mario Tennis. That is good.
They also got Win Back.
Yes, this is the Nintendo 64 Metal Gear Solid trying to be. Which I actually spoke about in the last episode before. I said it like,
Yeah.
watch, they're gonna put something like Win Back in there. And then, dude, I told you, man, I'm gonna put this game in here. It's like, look at that. Fortune teller, dude. I'm telling you, it's like, watch, they're gonna put this like flipping game on here. There it is, Win Back. It's like, called it. I like, it's there.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it was still fun.
I'll definitely play
I
it
rented it
if
from
you.
Blockbuster.
I'll definitely play it since you said it's a Metal Gear Solid
It's similar.
N64.
So it's similar. You're gonna get some like yeah. Actually, I believe it was like a lot. It was like cover based shooting as well. So I think you'll love it. I think you'll like it.
Okay, and the final game was Ocarina of Time, which
Of
is
course,
the
of
game that
course.
I mentioned that I wish they would put on, and they did. I mean, that's the
Yes.
biggest one. I mean, I think the biggest three are Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, and Mario Kart.
There you go. I'll actually throw in a low key on the Star Fox 64 as well because I think that's actually the best Star Fox game so far.
Yeah, I mean that was
Mhm.
on my what was it? My honorable mention. So
Yes,
we
yes,
did
it
mention
was.
Star Fox 64. That's gonna be a good one. I believe also these will have online multiplayer, so that's gonna be good too. At least for Mario Kart 64. I don't know if they'll have it on Star Fox 64, but
Maybe.
I'm hoping.
Hey, Nintendo, make GoldenEye online. Make it happen. Bring GoldenEye first, and then make it happen.
And then they announced the Sega Genesis collection, which nobody was expecting, just because there's like a Sega Genesis collection already on the Switch without the need for the online
Yeah,
service.
like this game is already kind of available. Like it was already out. I mean, the same thing with like Super Mario 64. You could already get it on the 3D collection, but there's a 50 game collection of Genesis already on the Switch. So, like, this just seems a little extra. Like, I think. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with it. If you like it, you like it. Go for it. If you don't have the collection, go for it. But it just seemed like a little Not. I mean, it sounded great in the beginning, but then when you think about the other games that came out already, like already collections, and some of these games are already in other types of collections. I'll use two examples. Castlevania Bloodlines is on the Castlevania collection, the original Castlevania collection, and Contra Hard Corps is on the Contra collection.
Yeah. And then
So,
I think the other ones are like Echo the Dolphin, that's and Golden Axe. I think those are on the
oh yeah,
collection
that
along
that's
with
part of the that's part of the 50 game one. Rice
uh,
Star,
Sonic 2.
yeah, that is.
I believe Shining Star 4 also, and maybe Streets of Rage 2. But like, I don't know. I thought Streets of Rage 2 was already on the Switch as one of
Mm,
those like old arcade games that you're able to buy for like
probably,
$3. But
yeah. So but
this
again,
this
not
one
not
was
knocking
weird.
it.
This one was weird addition, but I welcome it still because it's
Yep.
just more games on the service. It's just more games. The only one I never heard of was I think the Musha
Yeah,
game.
I never heard of that one either. Musha. How much more do you think it's gonna be if you had to place a bet on how much it is more?
Right now I believe $20 is a year for
Right.
the regular.
That's right.
I would probably put it between 35 to 40. I think
Okay.
I'd be more safe with 35. $15 upcharge for this, and for the family plan, the family plan I believe is 35 right now. For up to
Okay.
five people. I
Okay.
think that one would go up to maybe $50.
Wow. So you're saying $50?
I think so. I think it's gonna be
Oh
$50.
man. Damn, that's gonna be a big jump.
But we'll see where
We'll
they're at.
see.
We'll have a
I was
podcast
kind of
on it.
hoping it'll just be like 10 more or something, or 15 more or something like that.
It's Nintendo, man. I
Oh
mean,
man, I
dude, they
know.
charge $20 a year for Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. These are N64
Alrighty.
titles.
We'll see. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there's also going to be some online functions that are now going to be only part of the new expansion. Is that right?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
they'll be adding that. I think, and I think that's where I give them a little bit more credit, where a lot of these did not have online. Like I don't even think on the
Hmm.
Wii and Wii U Virtual Console,
Hmm.
you can play Star Fox 64 online or Mario Kart 64 online. So that part
Mm.
I'll give it the positive,
Hmm.
but we'll see with Nintendo's marketing and Nintendo's push for this. But also along with this, they announced two classic controllers, the N64 wireless controller and the Sega Genesis wireless controller. And this is the Sega Genesis 3 button controller,
Yes, not the six
not
button,
the six
three
one.
button.
The 6 button is actually exclusive to Japan, um,
Wow.
which kind of
Really?
sucks. Yeah, they're getting the
Ah.
6 button one.
Well, fortunately, none of these games right here are six button. Now, if they would have released like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat from the Genesis, then yes, I would say you need the six button one.
Yeah,
But so far, if they don't release those games, I think you're okay with three buttons. You're fine.
yeah, and as much as I love Sega Genesis, I don't think I'd get a controller specifically for it, um,
Mm,
as
the same with
opposed to
my the same with the N64 one too. I don't think I want that. I mean, if you really want the feel, but I don't think I want. I don't think I can get back to an N64 controller.
I think I'm gonna get that one.
You're gonna get the N64 one?
I think I'm gonna get that one.
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
I'll buy at least two copies of it, two controllers,
nice.
just because I mean it's Ocarina of Time. I love that game so much. N64 was really, I mean I had a Sega Genesis, but it was like a hand me down.
Mm,
The N64 was my first console that my parents bought me. Um,
mhm,
and so I have more memories with that. It was more of a unique console for me since I got it when the GameCube came out. So I was
wow.
still a generation behind, but I was able to, get all the classics dirt cheap because everybody was going to GameCube, and I was like, yeah, I'll buy the Ocarina of Time from you for $10, sure, uh, stuff like that. But I think I'll definitely be getting the N64 controller for sure. I believe they come out for $50 each.
Right on.
That's
Okay.
why I feel it's a little bit more heftier on the Sega Genesis than the N64 one.
Yeah. If you had to get one of the two, get the N64 one, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean,
If you had to.
like you said, hopefully, I mean, they've been pretty good at the backwards compatibility on the accessories.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you have, even if you don't get the anniversary, the service, and you
Hmm.
want this, and you have Mario already, the Super Mario
Go for it.
64, you can play it on there with that. Hopefully, that it works though. Um,
Awesome, man. And actually, just to throw in some last notes here on the N64. So there's a couple more N64 games coming out soon. So
yes,
Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask will be out. So yes, my favorite Zelda game will be on there. F Zero X is going to be on there.
love that one.
Mario Golf is going to be on there. It's actually a great golf game from the 64 version. Pokemon Snap, Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, Paper Mario, and Banjo Kazooie. So my favorite game is coming out later, but I already have it on the Xbox, so I'm fine
And that's
with that.
crazy that they have Banjo because it's a Microsoft owned game.
Right? So it's like, what happened? Well, they are working together somewhat, Nintendo and Microsoft. So like not cohesively together, but like they're but they've already talked about deals before together, haven't they?
They have they've
Yeah,
had
yeah.
a couple games here and there, but it's mostly been on the Xbox. Going to Nintendo. We have yet to see the Legend of Zelda running on Xbox Series X.
Okay.
But that's why I'm so amazed that that partnership is still going. That we're still receiving Xbox owned IP on uh, Nintendo, which leads me to believe like, hey, we may get Donkey Kong 64 on the Switch Online service as well, since that was made by Rare. Um,
Okay. And also
who knows if we get Diddy Kong Racing?
oh, please. They should have put that instead of Mario Kart. Just saying.
But you know what? I'll take Mario Kart and Banjo,
Yes.
if it means that we get at least something,
And you
because
know what? I'm actually really excited to play Paper Mario because I never got a chance to. It's the sequel to Mario RPG that I never got to play.
same here. I
So
never got to play that one.
yeah, so that's the other one coming out there, and we'll see what more they keep going with Nintendo 64. Let's maybe hope some of our suggestions from episode 7 will uh, will pique their interest. We should send them that episode or something. Be like, hey, what do you think we should we should put in here? And then Nintendo's gonna be like, okay, thank you. But
and
I'm excited. I like this that's coming out.
for the final announcement, it wasn't the final one, but it's pretty huge news. We knew that there was a Mario movie coming into development, uh, but we didn't know the cast and
Right. And
all.
it's an all animated Mario movie.
Yes,
They're using the same artist who did like they're using the same studio that did like the Minions movies.
yeah,
So
same guys who did the DreamWorks Minions and
yeah,
Despicable Me.
which is very smart because remember what happened the last time they tried to do a Mario not live action a Mario live action movie.
So the biggest news was Mario, who was voicing Mario, and I thought it was going to be the same voice actor who's been doing Mario for 25 plus years. Uh,
Right?
I thought it was going to be, what's his name, Charles Martinet,
Yes, that's correct. Charles Martinet.
but
He's actually going to be in the movie. He's
yeah,
credited.
he still
So
has
he's
he
doing
still has
something.
something,
Yeah, that's gonna be strange. So okay,
but they announced that Chris Pratt is going to be Mario,
that's right. Star Lord is gonna is gonna voice Mario.
and I'm mixed on this one, but. What's your take on it so far? Just not even hearing his Mario, just knowing that it's Chris Pratt.
So with Chris Pratt, I know he's very animated in everything he does. So for him to have the role is fine. He's very animated with the way he discusses. He's very action oriented. His voice is pretty iconic in regards to voices. Um, the thing is with Mario, it's gonna be so hard to not imagine Charles Martinet, and I think he's gonna copy Charles Martinet as best as possible in this role because that's what he has to do. Because we have grown up with Mario. Charles Martinet has voiced Mario since Mario Teaches Typing and Mario 64. Like Like, how can you put another different voice in there? Which I guess they just couldn't use Charles Martinet for whatever reason, but I'm not against it. But Chris Pratt is one of the hottest things in town right now as far as acting wise. So with all the roles he's had, Jurassic World and um, excuse me, Jurassic World, and as well as the Marvel franchise. So he's a big ticket item. So I'm not against it. I think it's cool. We'll just see how he does it.
Okay. Yeah, I also feel he's gonna go the same route. He's gonna try to mimic him, but one side of me wants a different Mario. It also depends on, I guess, the Mario that we get.
Hmm.
So I'm
We'll
open to
see.
it. I'm always open
Yeah.
especially since it's an animated film. It's not really a live action, so
Yeah.
we don't
It's
have
gonna be
to
all animated. Yeah.
worry about necessarily, oh, does he look like Mario, but it's more like, does he sound like Mario? So
Right. Because we already have a way that Mario sounds. Like it's already like etched in our brain.
this will be interesting. And then we have Charlie Day as Luigi. um
I actually like this
I do
because I
too.
love Charlie Day. Yes, that is fine.
I'm
I think
completely
I think
fine with
it,
this
I
casting.
could I could see how he can do it. Wow, 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 wow. I could see him do stuff like that. I could see this. So yes, I love him from It's Sunny in Philadelphia and Horrible Bosses. So I think I could see this. That was absolutely fine.
Anya Taylor Joy as Princess Peach. I don't have much knowledge
Me
of this actress.
me neither. I know she is from Queen's Gambit. So that is from there. I do not have much of her either. So she will be voicing Princess Peach. The voice that I love that was casted. I love Jack Black as Bowser. Yes, yes, yes,
I think this was the most unanimous one. I think
yes.
I have
This
not
was
seen anybody complain. I think
nope.
everybody is up for more Jack Black.
Dude, and even the big. He kind of just gives you a Bowser feel to him with this big beard and everything. You're like, dude, this works. Like this, he's the man. I'm excited for Jack Black as Bowser. That's gonna be tight.
And I kind of hope for him to have a musical, like a
Yes,
song. I hope there's a song with Jack Black
yes.
as Bowser, and
With
I'm
the
just
guitar, so it could be like Tenacious D.
yes, something like that.
Yes, I'm in. I'm in for that.
The one that I can just already hear Donkey Kong is Seth Rogen. I,
Dude, Seth Rogen has like a very similar voice in everything he does.
yeah, I don't think he's gonna change his voice. I think I'm just gonna hear Seth Rogen and not Donkey Kong.
Dude, you're gonna hear Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong straight up. You're gonna hear you're just gonna hear his laugh.
I,
Dude,
there's gonna be a lot of
but
that Seth Rogen laughter.
I just don't know. I mean, I know this is a Mario movie, but why is Donkey Kong in this movie?
I mean, he is like kind of big. I mean, he was in the first Mario game,
Okay, okay, you're right. When it was
which
Mario,
wasn't
when
even
Donkey
Mario.
Kong. No, it wasn't a Mario game. It was called Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it was Donkey Kong with Mario, and I mean they're pretty synonymous. They're pretty much like, joined at the hip with that.
So yeah, Seth Rogen. That's the question mark. Don't love it, don't hate it, but like even when you saw like if you saw a movie called Sausage Party, which he also voiced a character, like dude, Seth Rogen has a very distinct him. Like it's his voice.
Yeah, his
So
voice and laugh.
it's gonna sound just like him. So be prepared for that. It's gonna sound just like him.
So we also another big name we got Keegan Michael Key as Toad.
Dude, they're putting Toad in a comedic lifestyle.
Yeah, and I'm
They're
all
putting
for it. I'm all up
yeah,
for
I
Toad.
love I loved him from Key and Peele altogether from back then.
What else? We also got Cranky Kong will be in the movie, voiced by
Mhm.
Fred Armisen.
Yep.
Uh,
The rest of the actors, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super familiar with at the time for the final voices, but Cranky Kong is gonna be in the movie. Fred Armisen, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, so they're actually adding Magic Koopa into the mix
and Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike.
as Spike. So that's one of the Koopa kids, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So and then of course, like we said before, Charles Martinet is he's credited. We just don't know what voice he's doing.
Yeah.
Um, so far, Mario has the biggest pressure with Chris Pratt. He's gonna have the most pressure out of all these actors.
Yeah, that's the main voice that you have to nail. Everybody else
Yep.
kind of can be like, okay, that's a new interpretation of Luigi or Toad
Yep.
or Bowser, but Mario is the one that I think people are gonna be eyeing the most.
Yep. And then I haven't seen too much Anya Taylor Joy yet, so I don't have an opinion on Princess Peach yet. Oh, but Seth Rogen is gonna be the big question mark.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the big question mark on that one. But I'm excited to see this movie. It's coming out end of 2022, I believe.
December 21st,
December
2022.
21st of 2022. So all animated movie of Mario. Maybe they're gonna capitalize off of that Sonic movie fandom. So now the movies are definitely starting to get a lot better because I think now they're trying to make the movie look like the game, unlike the first Super Mario movie, which my goodness, it couldn't be. It's basically two different things. It's not like the game at all. It's a futuristic apocalyptic city and like de-evolving to dinosaur de-evolving rays and Bowser, weird human, and yeah, not great.
Yeah, and that was Nintendo Direct for September. That was all the announcements, big or small. Uh, there's a lot of games that I'm looking forward to. A lot of games that came out that I'm already playing, like Castlevania Advance and Diablo 2, um, and a lot to look forward to. Uh, Probably my biggest, I guess, title or announcement that I am looking forward to is the N64 collection uh,
Yeah,
joining the online service. What's your
same here.
biggest? Oh, okay. So the Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo 64 coming in is the biggest announcement.
And yeah, with that, you just heard it is now time for the boss pick of the week. We are doing this now at the end of every show where we just take a favorite boss of ours for whatever reason it may be, whether it was a difficult boss or
Mhm,
we just loved it,
mhm,
memorable gameplay, whatever it may be.
mhm.
Um, this week's is Jesse's. What did you have
Yes.
for us?
All right, so I am going to continue on the Diablo wagon that we began, but I'm not going to go with Diablo 2. I'm actually going to go with Diablo 1, an even harder game than Diablo 2 and 3. Like, if you think the second one is like getting harder right now, play Diablo 1 and you will see how the game started, the bare bones of it. But a boss that always reminds me, a boss that I always remember from the first Diablo is actually the first boss that was there, the Butcher. It is the very first one you meet on the third level of the cathedral. When you're coming down the cathedral, which is the first area of the first set of dungeons before you move to the next one,
Okay.
the Butcher is a quest that now you have seen the Butcher yourself in Diablo 3. He's the final act boss of that act, the first act.
Yes.
So now the original Butcher, now of course, it's not big and as fancy as is shown in there. It was a lot more simplistic, but I think when you were talking about the original art style back then, about being more creepy and not as cartoonish in the past, it was to infinity in this one. Very gritty, very dark. You keep hearing the quests about it, and you know you're gonna face him. And when you finally open the door in his lair, first off, his lair is filled with like bodies and everything, like chopped up and everything, as he's a butcher. So when you first open the door, you hear that iconic phrase, ah, fresh meat. And when you open that door, if you don't have a strategy, you're doomed. He hits you faster than you can ever swing at him if you're a warrior class. His axe swing was so fast and it stuns you every time. It is nuts. I died so many times in the beginning and I just did not know how to beat him at that time. I had no clue. So you have to cheese him a bit. So what you had to do, you had to lead him out. You don't fight him in the room toe to toe. You will die. Unless you are at a really high level. If you want to fight him in melee, you had to have a high dexterity. Um, to even land blows without getting blows from him. So you had to grind if you want to face him toe to toe. But if you didn't, what you would do, you would take him out, and then you would try to go through a door in between a gated area, and you're gonna have to like cheese shoot him with your bow and arrow if you're the rogue. If you're the warrior, you want to try to get him behind a wall as well, or you can cast like a firewall spell. But it's just the first taste of a boss, and so many deaths have been caused by this guy. His look, he's a big menacing he's a big menacing demon with a huge butcher's cleaver. That's his weapon. And that's all he needs to ravage you. He don't need a lot of spells or anything like that. He is just big, mean, and imposing. And if you ain't ready, he will kill you instantly. And I just remember so many times fighting him, and he's become an iconic boss of Diablo, period. So again, they reintroduced him in 3 with a new redesign. If you play Diablo 3 if you play Diablo 3 usually every new year, if they're still doing it, you get to play the Diablo 1 dungeons in Diablo 3. They remade him just as hard in that game as well, but the fresh meat is like it's like the catchphrase of catchphrases. It's so memorable. And the story is that for the butcher, the Archbishop Lazarus, if you want to get into little Diablo lore, he was one of Diablo's disciples, would bring his minions down for the butchers to cleave. So it's a broken down monastery, and he would take him down into the dungeon to meet their end by the butcher. So your mission is to avenge their deaths by killing him.
That dude just sounds like pure terror, dude.
Ooh.
Like
When you first face him, dude, it's the catchphrase right when you open the door. People usually close the door right after they hear the catchphrase. Like, nope, 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 nope. Like, nope, 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 nope. Don't go. Don't go in there.
so is he a lot is he, in your opinion, since you've played them all, is he harder in the first one than he is on the third one?
Oh my God, absolutely, yes. Because you fight him so early. So you can actually open his door by accident already, like really low level, which
Okay.
would be a huge mistake. So so the thing about Diablo 3 is you can actually just work your way all the way through. In Diablo 1, you could just walk all the way you could just walk all the way to and open that door at a really low level, and you can get caught off guard real fast.
Okay.
Um if you play Diablo 3, you're kind of going through all the missions to get to the end. So I feel you're a more powerful person when you're facing them there. In this one, you either are ready or you're not ready, but you never know when you open, because the great thing about Diablo 2 is all the dungeons are randomized every time. Whenever you turn the game off and turn it back on, um the dungeons are revamped. They switch everything. So the butcher's room is not going to be where it was when you originally had it. So you have no idea. You just know that it's in the 3rd floor. So that's what you know so far. It's in the 3rd floor, but it could be any of the doors that you open down there. You open the butcher's room, and you could be level 1 or you could be level 10, however much you've been killing. You just have no idea when you're going to face them.
Damn, that sounds even worse because you don't even know if you're gonna be well equipped. You don't know if it's gonna
Yep.
be a room where it's just loot or just a regular room filled with enemies or just a boss encounter.
Yep. And you don't know yeah, and the good thing is you can close the door on him if you accidentally do. But if you walk into the room, you're doomed. I'm just saying it now. You're doomed if you're not leveled up enough. You can't even go toe to toe with him, like I said before, head right straight up. You have to grind a lot if you even want to stand up with him. So you gotta like cheese him. You gotta cheese him.
Okay. Well, I do hope that they make Diablo 1 remaster just like what they did with Diablo 2. I think that would be pretty cool to have
I think
on
so
modern
too.
consoles.
I I think so too. I think wow, Diablo 1 remastered. I think they would I think on that one, I don't think they're gonna bring back the original style. I think they're just gonna redo the whole thing, if that makes sense.
Would you prefer in the Diablo 2 style or Diablo 3?
No, I prefer in the Diablo 2 style.
Okay.
because
Darker.
I do like Diablo a lot darker. That's why, like, if you've seen the trailers for Diablo 4, it's looking like they're trying to go back to a more grittier style again. So I think they went with that Diablo 2, with Diablo 3 style because World of Warcraft was in the rage at that time. So they wanted to go with a similar way with that game.
Purple, greens, yellow,
Yeah,
bright
because World
colors.
of Warcraft was in the rage at that time.
Okay. Well,
We shall see. We shall see, man. But yes, the Butcher. Uh, I'm looking at his little GIF right now, and I'm just remembering. I'm looking at his GIF right now, and it's it doesn't look very imposing right now, but 2000s Jesse was very scared of that thing at the time. Very, very scared.
okay. Well, that's our show for this week, folks. Thank you
Woo!
for getting all the way here, listening to all the events, all the news that we got excited about, the games that we're playing, uh, multiple Diablo
Nintendo and
stuff.
Diablo.
Nintendo and Diablo was this week's episode with some sprinkle Halo
There we
uh,
go.
for good seasoning.
Yep, yep,
Um,
yep.
Thank you again for joining us all the way here. Let us know again if you have any comments. If you like to see this podcast on a specific platform of your choice,
Mm.
let us know. Let us know what you know announcement got you hyped up for Nintendo Switch, or even for anything else that's going onto your platform,
If you're a
like
hyper Diablo fan,
Castlevania.
let us know. We'd love to hear about it too.
Yes, I'm all for Diablo 3. I know Jesse's, I think, prefers Diablo 2 from what I gathered. Um, but yeah, let us know what announcement got you hyped up. That was our
All
show.
right.
Thank you
Thank
again
you
for
so much,
joining us,
everybody.
and we're out.
We're out, everybody. Peace. Enjoy your games. Let's go.
Later, guys.